Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video. Hope all is well and you guys are having a great day. So, again, we're going to cover some things that the one and only XRP Darren at Fame21 More shared for us the other day with SBI Holdings financial results. And remember, in Japan, they do have a different fiscal year ending in March of this year of 2019. So I just want to go over some important points here. So let me see. We're going to start things off on page 103. So right here, check this out. Cryptocurrency market size is expected to expand as the actual demand increases. Some anticipate USD, $40 trillion in the future. So I know we've heard some people say 10 trillion, others say 100 trillion. And honestly, it could be even more when you really account for all the private equities, all of the securities, and really just tokenizing all of, real estate assets in the future as well. So I think this is being a bit conservative, but it's good to see. And of course, XRP is listed here because it's one of the main holdings that SBI offers for commission-free trading. But I just wanted to show you what their financial report is saying. And these are huge, reputable institutions that are saying this. So I want to emphasize that. Right here, page 105, I know we've all seen this before, but it's just showing the digital asset ecosystem and it's approaching completion. So, of course, we have SBI VC, virtual currencies. We have R3, of course, they have a vested interest with XRP and the value increasing. We have Ripple, the private company. And we see all of these use cases surrounding SBI digital asset holdings. So we have token issuance. We have a platform mining and mining related activities with, other cryptos. Blockchain platform. We have derivatives, securities, asset management. This is where all of the big money is sitting. And this is where these ecosystems could really thrive by utilizing blockchain and a digital asset such as XRP. So just wait for the real creative minds and, innovations to be discovered. And when all the money comes here, even more and more of these tech nerds and engineers and programmers are going to be running for the hills this way, just like when everyone was running to Silicon Valley in the past during the internet boom, during all of the applications on phones and iOS development. This is going to be the same thing that's going to occur. And I highly believe, guys, that XRP is positioned better than any other digital asset. And keep in mind, this is just my opinion. Please do your own research. But what I do guarantee is when you do your own research, it's going to take you right back to XRP. Now, there's other projects that I also back. But for this channel, I'm almost only comfortable, especially if a lot of people are going to be listening to my advice, in basically talking about the most reputable and well-positioned digital asset XRP. I'm also a believer in, Cardano. I'm a believer in VeChain. There's some other ones that are a little riskier that I like as well, perhaps Trontier X, but I believe that there's going to be a lot of projects that fail, and I could be wrong. But I just want to show you the future, and I know we could put our money in some more risky digital assets, PundiX, Holochain, but you might get a 10x gain, but if it doesn't survive, you're going to be pretty upset. So that's why, I might reallocate some of my money in these riskier altcoins. And if they 5x and the, XRP only 2x's, I will dump those profits, of course, into XRP. And remember to always pay taxes and consider that. But that's the way I look at it. So diversification is good, especially if you're going to reinvest. But there's also a quote, and I believe it's by Mark Cuban, and, he's a multi-billionaire. And he basically says that diversification is for people that don't know what they're doing. So if you know what you're doing and you're going all in, that's kind of the way I see XRP. All right, page 111 I want to hit. Let's see here. So this is a great, financial report that Darren Moore brought us. All right, right. Okay. So as you can see, as I mentioned before, a plan to start commission-free trading of Bitcoin Cash, which I don't know why they include that, but maybe they just have a big stash and they'll profit off it, and XRP on the SBI VC exchange service. Next up, 122. I just want to go through this because I know a lot of people might not want to go and read through all this, so I just want to do this for all of my viewers that appreciate it. So much love. Right here, so we have Right here, the Japan Bank Consortium, by leveraging new technologies such as blockchain and distributed ledger technology, DLT, the consortium, which consists of mega banks and regional banks with approximately 80% of Japan's deposits, endeavors to construct a 24/7 remittance infrastructure operating in real time to centrally provide domestic and foreign exchange services. What do you think is capable of doing that? Are there any products out there, any private companies that are, capable of allowing 24/7 remittance? Absolutely. Ripple. So introduction at banks and development of smartphone apps is now underway. Money transfer equipped with X-Current technology from Ripple of the US. Now everyone's going to say, oh, but it doesn't say xrapid. Doesn't matter. X-Current 4.0 allows you to take the most efficient path, which is utilizing XRP, which is essentially xrapid. So please note that. And so we just see this, basically just everything, reducing payment infrastructure costs, reducing the bank's payment costs, reducing customers' commission fees, 24 hours a day settlement, real time. And it's, look at this, guys, reducing operational costs, centralized domestic and foreign payments. And this has been in the works for years now. SBI Group has a large holding in Ripple, the company itself, along with the digital asset XRP. So they both want to see this ecosystem thrive and be used live on a daily basis. Next up, we are going to page 127. Right here. So I know this has been shared around a lot, but I just want to emphasize this. So we have XRP right here, digital asset management. So develop and provide augmented services utilizing various cryptocurrencies. So they want to increase the various services through the utilization of XRP. So transaction services such as Bitcoin and XRP. I don't know who really wants to use Bitcoin for transaction services. So I think it's pretty likely that XRP will be chosen, especially if SBI is sitting on a larger stash. Just my opinion. But it's pretty logical. And again, look, they're going to be functioning as a market maker. Big surprise. All right, next up, 132. We're almost done with this, guys. And there's some additional news I really want to share with you. All right. So right here. So whether cryptocurrencies are securities by the SEC, the Security Exchange Commission. So the SEC has provisionally acknowledged that Ethereum is not a security. There is anticipation that if the SEC also acknowledges that Ripple's XRP is not a security, exchange listings and use of cryptocurrencies for remittance will increase. That's not even anticipation, that's just a fact. Once the SEC acknowledges and straight up says that XRP is not a security and is going to be treated as some form of digital asset, Japan's going to launch right away. They might not even wait for that regulation because they already know and it's all clear in their country. But again, the United States and Japan do a bunch of trading together, so perhaps they want to wait, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of variables that go, that are involved in all of this. But I just want to emphasize that. And then acceleration of initiatives, practical international use. Now remember, this was translated from Japanese to English, so I'm sorry if there's some, weird grammar and some words are plural. But right here, SBI Remit, Cambridge Global Payments, MoneyGram, Western Union, and other international remittance service providers are promoting the use of XRP for international remittances. All right, MoneyGram, Western Union, got some big groups. And of course, Ripple announced Spring, aka X Spring Initiative, to offer financial support for companies developing services and products that utilize XRP and Ripple's technologies to promote global digital asset utilization. So very exciting. And right here, again, to create greater liquidity. They're going to be solving the liquidity crisis of the world globally. All right. And now 2 more pages and I'm good. Sorry, guys. I just want to nerd out over this and just show you the proof instead of just talking high level and telling you price is going to go to $100 so you subscribe. I just want to give you the facts with a little hype and speculation, of course, because I'm excited. But all right, 121. So right here, established SBI Ripple Asia with Ripple in May 2016 to bring about a remittance revolution in Asia first through the practical use of DLT. And as we covered that, And remember, guys, this is basically a huge alliance with MoneyTap. And I just want to show you that how long they've been, putting this in the detail. And so the last thing I want to cover right here is just the comparison of XRP. So of course, transactions per second, we have 1,500, and it has the ability to scale much higher. Time taken for a transaction in minutes. We're talking seconds here compared to, an hour. And then cost per transaction in US dollar. Absolutely fractions of a US dollar compared to heavy fees on the Bitcoin network, and even Ethereum is much, much higher. So I just wanted to show you that. That is a big deal, and I think we know what is going to be the most favorable digital asset, but they're choosing Bitcoin and Ethereum because they are the largest in terms of market capitalization, and there's also a lot of industries that have been building upon those networks for years. So they're not just going to exclude and force everybody to use XRP, but they're doing the same thing that the private company Ripple is doing, where they lay out the options, they allow the companies to build infrastructure on the best product, on the best blockchain, on the best DLT technology. And so I think we're going to see more of that in the future. And I believe that a lot of these can thrive. There's plenty of money in the world. Right here, Wrath of Kahneman. I don't know how to say that, so I'm sorry if that's a famous name. But WKAHNEMAN. So in 2016, the London Stock Exchange Group predicted DLT would not be used until 2025. And they just lay out the main challenges in the industry to use DLT today. So there's the infrastructure build outs there, with all of these groups, Earthport, IBM, of course, interoperability with Hyperledger, R3, and XRP, and regulation. Regulation isn't well known. There's, of course, different data formats as well. And so you can go and read around here, but it's the same concept here. Barriers to adoption include industry-wide cost of conversion and development of interoperability between multiple distributed ledger technology infrastructure providers, data and systems, fragmentation of jurisdictional, legal, and regulatory policies, political timetables, and completing non-DLT technology. So they're endorsing all kinds of initiatives to harmonize standards between DLT providers. So the companies that might thrive in this revolution are going to be the companies that try to bridge the gap between different technologies that might not integrate well. That's pretty interesting. So if you have any business ideas and you have a technical background, highly recommend checking that out, or even investing into companies that are doing that. Right here, shared by the same gentleman, another mention of the smart stream proof of concept of Ripple as a swift replacement, no less, integrating with their transaction lifecycle management product from July 2018. So right here, it also encourages the handful of different ledger options out there, R3 Corda, Digital Asset Quorum, Ripple, and other Ethereum-based offerings. And then lastly, taking cash payment position data from Ripple block and successfully uploading it within the cash and liquidity management solution as a replacement for a Swift message. They can replace the Swift messaging system entirely. And it's pretty efficient. So I think eventually, as more and more groups are able to harmonize the difference, we're going to see Ripple just completely, I don't want to say overtake Swift, but I just think replace. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Swift is not as large as we think in terms of profit. And I believe that Ripple has way more money and is positioned a lot better just to help and revolutionize Swift. If Swift and them just want to merge and work together, I think they absolutely will. And I think Swift will be forced to, if they haven't already, on the back end that we don't know about. Last thing, shared by Leonidas. So Leo, and I don't even know how to say his last name, HADJILOIZOU on Twitter. So Marjan Delantine interview. And again, for those that don't know, Marjan Delantine is the global head of banking at Ripple. She goes on and discusses how blockchain's evolving at a global landscape and just talks about, the huge key points that they want to emphasize as always. So on average, Ripple's signing approximately 2 to 3 financial institutions a week. And at this point, it's probably 3 on average a week. Major European banks like Santander and Credit Agricole are live on the Ripple network. Guys, if you do not see the future in XRP and the value increasing, I don't know what to tell you. Because I do. And you know what? If you want to leave a dirty comment or whatever and come back to me in 5 years, we'll see who's right. So again, guys, hit that like button if you like what you see. I hope you appreciated that information instead of just pure hype. I want to show you the facts, and rest assured that this investment is probably one of the biggest investments of my lifetime personally. And I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time.